Middle income households with negative view of their personal finances surge to new highs. I've been saying this. The middle class is struggling. Um, Kamala Harris and Joe Biden has systematically destroyed the middle class. The middle class is struggling. When you have no middle class, you have no prosperity because the middle class actually pays the majority of the taxes. So we are struggling right now. A majority of households with income between 30,000 and 130,000 rate their personal finances negatively, according to a new survey. Again, this is what happened when you have crazy government spending, which causes inflation. You overregulate things and makes the cost of everything goes up. It's not getting any better. That's why you have retail places like Big Lots shutting down a lot of stores. You have what was the other one that I reported on yesterday? A bunch of middle class staples. You got Red Lobster struggling. Gosh, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Hold on one second. Sorry, y'all. I don't normally do this, but let me pull up my recent videos because it's gonna kill me until I remember what the other what the other place was. 7-Eleven, that's what it was. 7-Eleven, a staple for the middle and working class, is struggling and is going to be shutting down over 400, almost 450 stores. So the middle class is really, really hurting, really, really struggling, and we're going to talk about it. We're gonna talk about this survey. But before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button, share this out so we can get this information out there. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber, and hit that alarm bell so you know when I'm putting out new stuff. Also, check out my link tree in the description. Has a link to my Patreon. That's where I talk about things that I can't talk about here. There's also a link to my Instagram and my X account, so follow me there as well. All right, so let's talk about this news. Now, this comes from Fox Business by Breck Dumas, and she reports that America's middle class is feeling the squeeze like never before, according to new data. Prime America latest financial security monitor report for the third quarter found 55% of middle income households now rate their personal financial situation negatively, a 6-point jump from the previous survey. Quote, for the first time in a year, a majority of middle class income households are feeling negative about their personal finances, said Glenn Williams, CEO of Prime America. In fact, this latest report represents the highest negative rating we've seen since we've been fielding the survey exactly 4 years ago. Middle income households view the economy has deteriorated too over the past 3 months. A significant majority, 73%, said they have a negative view of the nation's economic health, up 1 point from the prior reading. Now, so this is boding very not well for Kamala Harris, who has tied herself to the Biden administration, which was just crazy. They gave her out during one of her most recent interviews and say, hey, would you do anything differently as far as things that happen with this administration? She flat out said no. So this tells you the incompetence this woman has. But the findings also indicated growing uncertainty about the economy, with 34% saying they are unsure about the economy's direction, a sharp increase of 15 points from last quarter. The survey polled households making between 30,000 and 130,000 annually, and 40% of respondents cited inflation as their top worry, up 8% from the previous quarterly survey. The Labor Department on Thursday said the Consumer Price Index, a broad measure of how much everyday goods like gasoline, groceries, and rent costs, rose 0.2% in September from the prior month and was up 2.4% from a year ago. So things are not getting any better, even though the mainstream media is saying, oh, things are getting better, everything is getting better, it's just not really reflecting in the market yet, but things are really getting better. Where's that showing on the statistics? How are they saying things are getting better, but statistically we're not seeing it? That's why we're not seeing it in the grocery stores. That's why we're not seeing it when we purchase gas, because it's non-existent. It's not getting any better. In fact, by almost every barometer, is getting worse. High inflation has created severe financial pressures for most U.S. households, which are forced to pay more for everyday necessities like food and rent. Price hikes are particularly devastating for lower income Americans because they tend to spend more of their already stretched paycheck on necessities and therefore have less flexibility to save money. Quote, families continue to list inflation as their number one concern, with the stress it brings spilling over into worry about being able to afford everyday essentials like food or groceries and going to the doctor, as well as managing their rising credit card debt, Williams said. Concerns about credit card debt among middle-class America is also on the rise, according to the findings. 44% said they are more worried about their credit card debt than they were a year ago, which is a 9% jump from last quarter and the highest level of concern since the question was first introduced in March 2023. Quote, the results of our survey reflect the accumulating financial stress middle-class families are facing, Williams told Fox Business. Recent cost of living increases are living increases are slowing, and we have to remember many fell behind financially and are still recovering. Yes, it's slowing, but the rate is still growing. It's just growing at a slower pace. Again, that's not showing that that's not a sign that things are getting better. They're continuing to get worse. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Leave your comments down below. Like, share, and subscribe. And check out jjthepsychotherapist.com for the latest in news. Until next time, peace.